Hey, what's up, amazing friends? I'm the Real Manos, and I have been hearing this fervor going on over in comic book fandom for the time being, actually for a while. And I know what you're saying, comic book fans complaining, ha 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 ha. Because frankly, comic book fans love complaining as much as they actually love reading the comics, but it's something I've noticed that's been getting a little bit more intense over the last few years. And essentially, it's about Spider-Man. And before I get going, I just want to say you can pick up my comic book, which I don't hear anybody complaining about just yet. Red Knight. It's over at manospublishing.com in print and digital. Check it out today. So, hey, what's that I've been hearing? What's up with Spider-Man? And I'm not talking about the movie franchise. Ironically, is doing fine. The MCU Sony films have been very successful, and the Miles Morales Spider-Verse films are universally beloved. So what's going on? It's the actual comic books, and specifically Peter Parker Spider-Man. The crown jewel of this whole thing. What is happening? And you would think that maybe it was just problems dealing with Brand New Day, but not really, because Brand New Day has come and gone, and actually the issues seem to be more intense. And essentially what the main fans seem to be complaining about is like stories being really boring, characters acting in and out of character, as well as like pointless events. And there's a lot to unpack about these, but let me first start with the thing that some fans, but a lot of people in Marvel seem to think is a problem, and that is the marriage, Mary Jane. And this has been an argument since the marriage happened in the late 80s, early 90s, in that it drags the character down, it limits him as a character. And I am a person who is very much in strong disagreement with that. Because I actually think Peter being married develops the character and develops Mary Jane, and also, as an extension, develops their supporting cast and villains. Because, there's this thing that really got Spider-Man going is his relatability. And let me tell you something. I know I've been in my 20s, and I've known a lot of people in their 20s, and Peter Parker is supposedly basically in his mid-20s, 24 to 26 and shit like that. And I have met people in their 20s who are married, have a kid, trying to balance career and activities and school, and have a kid. Those are relatable things to many people. And not many of them have, traveled in between dimensions and had deals with the devil and dealt with time travel crap. That's actually less relatable. And what you do is you use that to relate to your fans, and the whole Spider-Man thing is fun, and it makes it fun. Everybody likes it. So I don't know, this whole argument that it started before Joe Quesada. Joe Quesada really did take a line in the sand with a strong attempt to stamp it out, and it didn't work because fans really like it, and it means something to fans. So you can't arbitrarily, unnaturally stop something that was naturally happening in the comic and in the characters. You see, I think in a way, that in a backhanded way, it's an insult to fans, because the idea that, hey, this character who's married and found someone that cares about them, that's not relatable to you, fans. You are worthless and suck, and no one likes you. Here's a relatable character. I don't know why they think this is like an acceptable argument, but it is what they think. The thing is, I think if I want to pinpoint what I think is the problem, I would go back to one simple issue, and it's an issue in the form of problem and literary. Issue 243 in Amazing Spider-Man. This is the first time Peter Parker actually quits college, and it was kind of a big deal. And this was related in the fact that he was dealing with relationships and money problems, and being Spider-Man, and something had to be cut, and it was college. And a lot of people very disappointed in Peter Parker in universe. But they were able to move on, and he was able to kind of start over again. And I think this is the issue, because Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, as well as others, really got people excited about Peter Parker, because he was young and he was developing and he could be anything. And that was really exciting as we watched him go on this journey together with him. And we watched him graduate high school much quicker than Dick Grayson ever did. And we get to watch him go to college. Wow, this is great. He could become this great hero right in front of our eyes as we grow up. And then they stop it, and then they start it up again, and then they stop it again. And that's the thing. They take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. And over time, writers have run out of ways to disguise that. So that's why we bring in deals with the devil and time travel crap and other kind of weird shenanigans to avoid telling the story of him just developing as a character, or making the choice not to go in some direction, because we don't want to make him look bad. Oh no. Sometimes that's brought onto Mary Jane, which is why sometimes writers write her as some stereotypical nagging wife and a wet blanket, which she is not that type of person, but that's what they need to do for this to work. And Mary Jane is a wonderful, capable character who's in his corner, and she can be that guy in the chair character for him. I remember specifically the Batman Spider-Man crossover written by J.M. Demetrius and drawn by Mark Bagley, and it starts paralleling Alfred, who is in Bruce's corner all the time, man, with Mary Jane, who is also supportive in many of the same ways. Of course, they're different relationships, father relationship and wife relationship, but you get my drift. And a lot of fans have developed a love for Mayday Parker. First as a teenager, but we've seen her in baby form, and we like that. We liked it in the new movie. We liked it in that Dark Ages comic. These are things that can be done with the character, and we have seen characters grow and develop. Let's see, in Marvel, other Marvel characters, a lot of the other characters are more adult in their places, but we've seen them develop as characters, like Fantastic Four, for instance. I've gone from just 4 tight friends to an actual family. We've seen Ben Grimm get married with Alicia and have kids, and they've just developed with Reed the Sue having more kids, and we've watched them grow. Not to mention as people. Reed's not as much of a dick as he used to be. So that's kind of how things develop. We develop with these characters through our lives. That's one of the beauties of these continuing stories and these continuing sliding timelines. And Shonen does this. A lot of their success involves watching the hero grow and develop as a character, and we watch and grow with them. Now, One Piece is a story that's been able to do this for a long period of time and not get boring and stale. Granted, it's been around 20 years, which is maybe, a quarter of the time Spider-Man's been around, but you get my drift, essentially. And that's something Spider-Man can do. And Marvel has an out. If they want a teenage Spider-Man, they have a teenage Spider-Man in the form of Miles Morales, and he is popular. He is sticking. People love him. His merch sells just about as well as Peter's merch, and he has 2 successful films. One of them won an Oscar, which, by the way, none of Peter's films have. So there you go. They can have their cake and eat it too, and yet they choose to do neither. And I gotta tell you, that's frustrating as a fan. So that's what I think a lot of these problems stem from, just this refusal to change and develop, because, hey, this system makes money. So let's keep doing the system. And even though the system is long past outdated, we got to keep going. It's time to let it go, Indiana. And let's develop the character. I mean, this is a sliding time scale, so, I mean, he's not going to instantly change and develop and become an old man, like, overnight. This is going to be something that can go on. While at the same time, we can have Miles take care of that, teenage route for storytelling. I don't understand why so many talented people are making this so hard. But that is my opinion. That's what I think is the solution. I don't think anybody will listen, but yeah, that's what I think. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit the notification bell for all things Manos. You can find me at Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Tumblr. I'm still at Twitter, and you can support the channel at $1 a month on Patreon. So I'm going to get going and push the button, Lindsay.